That's all she said, and now she's being treated like royalty.
A whistleblower alleges that Ghislaine Maxwell is getting special treatment in prison.
Maxwell's meals have been customized. They are delivered directly to her cell. She is personally escorted to the exercise area after hours and gets to enjoy recreation time in staff-only areas. When she wants private meetings, the warden personally arranges them, providing an assortment of snacks and refreshments for her guests.
I mean, she gets to hang out in the staff areas. Can you imagine being a prison guard who can't watch TV in the break room because Ghislaine taking a nap on the couch? It's why you should choose your friends wisely, because remember, if you do something embarrassing in front of a friend, that's a memory. But if they turn on you, it becomes ammo.
Epstein suggesting reporters ask my houseman about Donald almost walking through the door, leaving his nose print on the glass as young women were swimming in the pool, and he was so focused, he walked straight into the door.
There is no way this dude is Looney Tunes level horny. Like, you know, there's normal level perv, and then there's Kool-Aid Man level perv. Hey, Don, you want to see some girls in the pool? Oh, yeah. And look, also, I'm not saying Trump has a micro penis. But it's weird he got all horned up and his nose hit the glass first. These guys believe in everything but you. Take a look.
He also suggested that the president had defiled a corpse. Billionaire Elon Musk wasn't spared either, with Chansley describing the world's richest man as a baby eater.
This is so bad. That's the thing about QAnon. Like, if Kendrick Lamar wanted to ruin your life, at least he'd do a bunch of research on you and your family. QAnon just comes out and says you're eating spines. And there's no way for you to prove you don't eat spines. In fact, every time you've got some between your teeth, they're like, see, he flossing babies. But don't let all the things that Constantino hates fool you. One thing I know about him is that he likes being funny and having fun. I know this because he told us.
I like being funny. I like making people laugh. I like having fun. If you're not having fun in life, what else matters?
Why does he look like he's about to read off what my grandma left me at her will? Like, I like being funny, but today's not about me. It's about Eunice Marie Johnson, a wonderful lady. Like, the words he's saying are, I like to have fun, but the tone is saying, I hit a cat with my car and felt nothing.
President Trump has issued a full and unconditional pardon for the former president of Honduras. Juan Orlando Hernandez was serving a 45-year sentence after he was convicted on major drug trafficking charges in the U.S. last year.
Like I just said, drug dealers, watch your back, because Trump is about to give you a nice massage. I don't even know what's crazier, that President Trump is pardoning the president of Honduras for selling drugs, or that the president of Honduras was selling drugs. People work their whole lives just to become president. So for you to get there and say to yourself, now I get to do my dream, is crazy. At least Walter White had a teacher salary. You're the president, and not only are you selling drugs, you're so bad at it, you get arrested in a whole different country. But maybe I'm missing something about this pardon.
Okay, then, looks like I'm going to have to really bring the hurt on you. Honey? Yeah, I want a divorce. That's right. Take the house and the kids. I know we're soulmates. I don't care. It's over. You ready to give up now, Josh?
Costa, why would you divorce your wife? She's the only thing people like about you.
Oh, you mean my ex-wife? I didn't want to even do this to you, but here we are, just me and you in a room that's spinning. I smell toast. Does anyone else smell toast?
You really should go to a hospital.
Well, joke's on you, dumbass. I can't. I was on my wife's health insurance.
Because I know America would do a lot of strange for that much change, but let's see how the people of Greenland feel about it.
So I think Trump doesn't know about Greenlandic people. We don't really value cash and Kardashian lips and fake boobs and stuff like that very highly.
Damn! That was uncalled for. First thing, we're not all about fake lips and boobs. I'll have you know, we're mostly into butts now. It's one thing to dog Trump, but you're talking about America. Americans could slam you too if we, knew anything about Greenland or where you are. Soon as we find you on a map, consider yourself roasted, all right? But if the bribes don't work and the invasion doesn't pan out, Trump always has his fallback plan.
Trump has threatened 8 NATO countries with punishing tariffs, 10% in February, jumping to 25% in June, until a, quote, deal is reached for the complete and total purchase of Greenland.
Of course it's tariffs. This man has no other moves and no imagination. This is getting sad, and I mean sadder than Marco Rubio holding one of those hairless Instagram hats. How can you be both a hero and a piece of shit?
I don't know. You could save a cat from a tree, then call it a gay slur, I guess. These controllers know what I'm talking about. Keep up the good work there, Stan, you mooching turd dragon.
Jordan, this is the problem. People can't possibly believe that Trump is giving federal workers the support they need when he keeps taunting them.
Oh, Trump's not taunting these poor federal workers. Trump's just saying, what's the matter, huh? You want this little paycheck? Who wants this little paycheck? Who wants this little paycheck, huh? Then why don't you get some scotch tape and put it back together, you turd-sucking vultures?
But I guess that's what matters to Trump. He doesn't care about competence. He just wants loyalty. That's why he endorsed Ken Paxton over John Cornyn, and it's why he endorsed Ed Gowrine over Thomas Massie, even though Massie was more MAGA than Trump. But Thomas Massie told Trump he's not going to blow him to get elected, while Ken Paxton told Trump, watch me suck this peanut butter through a straw and see what I can do for you. And it's chunky. And that's the difference between these two parties. They both have kingmakers, but kingmakers are looking for two different things on each party. One looks for this in his candidates.
A fight to reject the politics of big money and small ideas, making healthcare more affordable and making housing more affordable. A vote for a city you can afford.
And the other looks for this.
When people like me, I like them. It's very simple. It's a very simple formula.
That's not really a formula. I mean, I guess it's a formula this guy could understand. Whatever you think about Trump or Mamdani, it's very clear that they are controlling the vibe of their party. And voters are eager to see, come November, which base is going to sound like this.
Did you personally approve the prison transfer for Ghislaine Maxwell that your Justice Department...
I didn't know about it at all, no. I read about it just like you did. Pardon for who?
For Ghislaine Maxwell.
Well, I'm allowed to give her a pardon.
Would you consider a pardon or a commutation for Ghislaine Maxwell if
It's something I haven't thought about.
Do you support the Justice Department seeking a new interview with Ghislaine Maxwell?
I don't know anything about it. They're going to what? Meet her?
That was all summer long. People say 2025 didn't have a summer song of the year, but no. The song of the summer was the reporters asking Donald Trump about Ghislaine Maxwell. If it was eligible, it would have been #1 on Billboard. But okay. Take a breath. First thing, wasn't great. You can fix it. All right? They ask you if you're going to pardon her. You barely remember her, right? You don't know her, and you're trying to get into heaven, buddy. Remember? That's the plan. That's the journey you're on. You're trying to get into heaven, and you don't even really know this lady, so you're obviously not even going to consider pardoning her.
Well, I'll take a look at it.
But you're considering
I will
that.
speak to the DOJ. I wouldn't consider it or not consider it. I don't know anything about it. So
Why would she be a candidate?
I will speak to the DOJ.
Why would she be? But she was convicted of child sex trafficking.
Yeah, I'm going to have to take a look at it.
that's the thing, Michael. Americans are the ones who pay the tariffs. It's a tax on us. How is punishing ourselves supposed to get us Greenland?
You know, I don't like your tone, Josh. Maybe you need to experience how America fights. You want to go, dude?
Oh, come on, man. I don't want to go.
Because I don't think you're ready for this.
You had enough? There's more where this came from.
Dude, what are you doing? Stop.
Oh, you had enough, Josh? I knew you would tap out just like Europe.
No. You're hurting yourself. That doesn't convince me this is a good strategy.
Oh, you're playing hardball, huh? Well, maybe it'll change your mind when I do this.
No, that did not change my mind. Are you okay, man?
No, I can do this all day. Because I have a concussion now and I probably shouldn't sleep.
Costa, you gotta call a doctor.
You need an ambulance that bad, huh, Costa?
You're Costa. I'm Josh.
Okay, so you're gonna give us Greenland then?
That's not even up to me. But this is truly insane. There is not another convicted child sex trafficker in the world who would get this kind of treatment in prison. There's actually no way within the confines of prison that her life could get any better.
Add to that one more perk for the convicted sex offender: puppy time. According to the whistleblower, an inmate who trains puppies to become service dogs was instructed to provide one to Maxwell for a time so she could play with the puppy.
Do not give that dog to Ghislaine. That's not what they meant when they said take the dog to the groomer. What could be worse than waiting in line for 4 hours?
Our next guest's flight was at 10:45 p.m., and he did everything right. He got to the Atlanta airport at least 4 hours early, but he says he didn't get through security until 3:20 the next morning.
9 hours? Someone waited in TSA for 9 hours. You may not have started in that line as a terrorist, but after 9 hours... This man waited in line for the length of a shift. That means he saw the TSA agent clock in from a distance. And right as he got to the front, they clocked out in his face. By the time I get that pat down, it better be the best one I've ever had in my life. I'm talking full release, all right? If this is what flying is going to be like from now on, you may as well go to the airport now, just in case you ever have a flight someday. Yesterday, Trump was in the Oval Office to announce the construction of a big road in Alaska. Congrats, Alaska. You finally got a road. And if we know one thing about Trump, it's that he likes to keep his press conferences focused and on topic. So let's hear what he has to say about this cool road.
I want to be good because you want to prove to God that you're good, so you go to that next step, right? So that's very important to me.
Trump, are you sick? I mean, aside from all the visible signs that your body is falling apart, are you sick or something? Like, we should take a second here, because this is the first time I've seen Trump be humble about anything. Like, normally he'd be like, heaven's begging me to come. I'm only staying alive to play hard to get. Jesus came up to me with tears in his eyes and he said, please, sir, come fix heaven. It's a total dump. Also, no one exercises to improve the government's finances. Imagine if your Peloton instructor was like, okay, 5 more minutes and Kash Patel can fly private to Burning Man. But are we really advertising walking? Isn't that like a basic biological activity? What's the next video in this series? Hi, I'm Dr. Oz. Have you tried shitting in a toilet? I will say, though, you never want to see the guy who's supposed to keep you healthy and safe talk about dying. Like, he's supposed to be leading you. You never want to hear a pilot over the system be like, oh, I just can't wait to get into heaven. Like, can we get to Pittsburgh first. And look, I don't know, man. Heaven is tough to get into. Like, I don't want to throw cold water on your hopes and dreams, but you might want to think about trying to get into, like, a safety heaven. Like, whatever SUNY Albany of heaven is up there, you know what I mean? Like, apply there, you know? Because the truth is, there's probably a good reason for Trump to worry about getting into heaven, you know? Is it? Yep. That too. I mean, that wasn't even the first thing I thought of. Crazy how many things there are. Here's what I don't get. The president travels with tons of security everywhere he goes. So what problem are we trying to solve exactly?
The ballroom itself will avoid the dilemma of having to leave the White House grounds. He literally could have left his bedroom, walked out the back of the White House, and been at the ballroom.
Wait. The president needs to walk out of his bedroom into the ballroom. This feels like it's Lindsay's dream. I can see Lindsay like, I must rise from my silk sheets and directly into the cotillion. Oh, it's a mass cotillion where I can be my truest self. This is not what a president is supposed to be focused on, unless that president is 7 years old. You know, they're writing a list like, I'm gonna have a slide that goes right from my bed to the pool. And I want a soup made out of candy, so whenever I get hungry, I can just eat my shirt. But you know what? Maybe my favorite Trump promise isn't even about a specific policy. It was deeper and more meaningful.
We're going to dream big again. We haven't been dreaming big at all.
No, we haven't. But now, Donald Trump is dreaming enough for all of us.
We're showing a picture now of Donald Trump with his eyes closed, battling to keep his eyes open, struggling to stay awake.
Slumped in a chair in the Oval Office today, appearing to nod off.
He may have dozed off a few times.
Hey, don't laugh at him, all right? Leave that poor man alone. He got like 9 or 10 jobs. So bottom line, when it comes to Donald Trump, there's no you in us. And once you understand that, things will go a lot better for us. And by us, I mean Donald Trump. I guess what I'm trying to say is that, unfortunately, we're all in his hands. Look at it. But look, whether you love what Trump's done the past year or hate it, he has been busy. Let's hear about some of these incredible accomplishments.
With bullet points like number 243, stripped notorious crackhead and grifter Hunter Biden of his taxpayer-funded Secret Service detail.
Notorious crackhead? That may seem harsh, but name another famous crackhead from the last 5 years. I'll wait. To be fair, the bar on crackhead notoriety is pretty low. Most people don't know the names of too many crackheads. Hell, most crackheads I know don't even know their own names. So to go a little deeper, the man who shot out the slur was John Davidson, who was at the BAFTAs because there was an award-winning movie based on his life with Tourette's. So yes, his outburst was involuntary and he addressed it in a statement afterwards. But right after that, I saw a lot of white people who don't have Tourette's giving him a pass, which is weird because white people don't hand out those passes. White people don't give out passes to say the N-word the same way I don't give out the passes to Cracker Barrel. I know that's not my place. The BAFTAs also tried to apologize during the ceremony, and here's how it went.
You may have heard some strong and offensive language tonight. The tics you've heard tonight are involuntary, which means the person who has Tourette's syndrome has no control over their language. We apologise if you were offended.
If you were offended? I mean, the only two options are being offended or liking it. Saying if ruins a whole apology the same way kind of ruins a whole wedding vow. I vow to kind of be faithful. Also, maybe the apology shouldn't come from the host of The Traitors. honestly don't trust anything that man says anymore. But enough from Floop from Spy Kids. Let's go even deeper. Damn, that man just went through the 5 stages of affordability. And I get why he feels threatened, because normally he can just lie. But you're the president, and people know if they ate or not. It doesn't matter how many hats they buy or how many photos of him and Epstein they pretend they didn't see. You can hear your stomach growling when you're hungry. They're not going to be like, that must be an illegal immigrant in my stomach stirring up trouble. Get out of there, immigrant. Get out of there.
According to the New York Times, Trump has used the office of the presidency to pocket more than $1.4 billion for himself.
Wait, $1.4 billion off of being the president? That's so rich, it makes every other president look stupid. Like, what was up with George Washington's wooden teeth? You broke bitch. You should have had them molars iced out. Donald Trump's been having a pretty good time. The shutdown ended, he didn't have to concede anything, and he didn't even have to give poor people health care, his favorite kind of deal. You know? Everything's coming up Trump. Nothing can stop the Trump train now.
Breaking news, convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein mentioned Donald Trump by name several times in private emails.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Trump train is experiencing a slight delay. There is an Epstein file on the tracks. We should be moving as soon as we get that cleared. Look, I have seen so much anger and hate online fighting over this, with people rushing to attack anyone they saw as ableist in some ways that were pretty racist. People are pretending to be neurologists while saying things like, "Don't you say the R word, you N word?" Everyone was so mad at each other when all of us should be mad at the BAFTAs. They have failed both groups and the people that overlap at every turn. They sat John next to a microphone. They didn't edit it out, even with a 2-hour delay. And they left it up, unedited, on the BBC streaming service for 15 hours. How are you going to hand out editing awards and you can't edit? Even worse, you embarrassed Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo. No one gets away with that. So please, Black Twitter and neurodivergent TikTok, stop firing off at each other and turn that heat on to BAFTA and the BBC, because your heat together is equal to the sun. Roast them, light them up, fry their asses. They're from England, they burn easy. So that's all the news in terms of bombshell emails? It's not a lot. It's not like there's an email with a journalist where he's strategizing how to blackmail Trump.
Michael Wolff says, quote, "I hear that CNN is planning to ask Trump tonight about his relationship with you. If he says he hasn't been on the plane or to the House, then that gives you a valuable PR and political currency. You can hang him in a way that potentially generates a positive benefit for you. Or if it really looks like he could win, you could save him generating a debt."
I like that Epstein was like, yeah, that seems like a lot of work. I'm probably just going to kill myself.
Over time, that savings is erased by a much larger interest bill, because while the total interest on a 30-year loan would be about $463,000, the interest on a 50-year loan would total more than $860,000.
Signed, Ronnie Chang. So you're saying that after interest, a $400,000 mortgage is going to cost me $1.3 million. That is the opposite of affordability. This man is creating generational debt. They're going to be fighting to get out of grandma's will. Like, grandkids will be like, I barely knew her, all right? I wouldn't even hug her at Christmas because her skin was too loose. For the last year, Donald Trump has been fiending for a Nobel Peace Prize, like a humanitarian award addict. He's tried everything from whining to pretending that he ended 8 wars to offering to suck Norway's fjord in the parking lot. But the Nobel Committee gave the prize to Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado. And Trump was so butthurt, he said that she should give her prize to him. And because that's the stupidest possible thing that could happen, guess what happened?
Venezuela's opposition leader and Nobel Peace Prize winner Maria Corina Machado saying she presented her prize to President Trump.
Wow. Now, this video is dropping less than a day since we found out Pam Bondi reportedly warned Trump back in May that his name was in the files multiple times. And it just so happens her next appearance was scheduled last night at a summit against human trafficking. Pam, show us what you got.
I do have a note from the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, that I wanted to share. I'm sorry to miss all of my CPAC friends today. Unfortunately, I am recovering from a recently torn cornea, which is preventing me from being with you.
Damn. Even Pam Bondi's cornea is like, release the Epstein files or I quit. I don't even understand this. Like, why does her cornea mean she can't talk? Like, I don't know a lot about women's bodies, and this is embarrassing to ask, but is the cornea in the throat? Don't get me wrong, this is astonishing because if this piece holds, it means the guy who couldn't stop a fight between Gary Busey and Meatloaf brokered peace in the Middle East. So Trump, when it comes to peace, you did it. You know, I mean, you also did a big portion of the war, but you did the peace too. It's like how white people did slavery in America, but they also ended slavery in America. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you. And by the way, just as a side note, the woman people say Epstein might be referring to is a Norwegian cosmetics heiress whose name, and I am not making this up, is Selena Middlefart. And if you're watching this from Norway and you're like, it's Middlefart, that is basically what I just said. Now, she has denied that she ever dated either of them, which I get. But more importantly, how is Selena Middlefart a real name? It sounds like a bad spy name. Like if you were a spy and you broke into a super secret security office and right after you grabbed the disc or whatever, you turn the corner and then there's someone looking at you and they say, who are you? And you haven't thought that far. And you almost say Selena Gomez, but you know that's not going to work. So you're like, Selena, and you get nervous when you're, trying to come up with a name and it makes you fart in the middle of your sentence. So you're like, Selena Middlefart. Trump has lost total control of the situation. Even his allies in Congress are turning on him.
In an effort to gain clarity, 3 Republicans joined Democrats on the House Oversight Committee to subpoena the Justice Department to give Congress all of the Epstein files.
This fight's coming no matter, this is here, I'm ready to take this vote. I think we should take this vote and move forward, move this country forward, and people deserve transparency.
Nancy Mace, damn. Trump is even losing the white women. Which is great because it means we're getting the white women and we're getting those files, all right? This feels like when you're at the airport and Southwest has delayed you for 23 hours. You're standing in line at customer service and there's a white woman in line in front of you bubbling harder than Prosecco. She's even doing the And then she turns to you and says, I'm going to say something. And you're like, yes, white lady. Go up there and get that manager for all of us. All right? And did he really have leverage anyway? All I've seen so far is Epstein and Maxwell saying Trump is a dog that hasn't barked. We don't know what he didn't bark about. Maybe the rest of that email clears him.
I want you to realize that dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Unnamed victims spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned. According to the released emails, Maxwell responds, I have been thinking about that.
Oh, shit. I think the Trump train crashed. Because this isn't just not a good look. It's one of the worst looks I've ever seen. Like, I'm talking Adrian Brody in a Rasta wig bad. Now, you might think this is just a stack of blank papers, or maybe if you're feeling generous, pictures of boobs. But this file was actually filled with Trump's accomplishments, which is why Trump treated it with the respect, care, and pride it deserved.
But look at this. These are all, each line is something that we did. Nobody did that before. And it's big stuff, too. Look, we have the hottest country in the world.
Wow, okay. Turns out Trump hates reading more than he loves bragging. All right. Now, obviously, Republicans are mad about Mamdani's win, but it also pissed off the Democratic establishment, which is pretty insane because they're in your party. And Zoran, you need to watch out because you know what happens when establishment Dems are mad at you. You get away with whatever you want. But there was one person who was willing to give Zoran his props and said, game recognized game.
President Trump posted this on Truth Social. Mayor Mamdani pulled through 3 solid communists and has received loud and universal applause from the fake news media. Congratulations, Mr. Mayor. I went 16-0 last night, helping to elect wonderful American patriots, and the media doesn't say a word.
Over the past 2 years, he says my endorsement has netted 259 primary wins, almost no losses, 0 media attention, fake news.
Trump sounds like someone at a birthday party trying to remind people it's also his birthday. He's just walking up like, hey, happy birthday, Margaret. Looks like we're both Geminis, huh? And yeah, technically, you know, I've been having this birthday longer, so you kind of stole it from me, you know. But nobody talks about that. And I feel for Donald Trump because he is not wrong about his endorsement clout. For more on how the shutdown's affecting air traffic control, we go to Atlanta's airport with Jordan Klepper. Jordan, what are the air traffic controllers saying?
Mostly they're saying, oh shit, another plane! Oh shit, another plane! Pass me that Snapple bottle, I got a piss in it! Stuff like that.
That's horrible.
Don't you worry your pretty little head there, Josh. The Trump administration wants to assure all Americans that their health and safety is in the hands of America's heroic federal workers who would never leave their posts.
Great. That's reassuring that they're taking care of these heroes.
Heroes who are freeloading pieces of shit that will work without pay till they die and like it.
That's the thing. I'm getting a lot of mixed signals. Does the Trump administration think these guys are heroes or pieces of shit?
Yes.
The Army also changing some regulations to let people enlist without a waiver if they have a single conviction for possession of marijuana or drug paraphernalia.
Okay, this is bad. This is bad. We've been at war a month and you're already down to stoners? This is like that Harold and Kumar movie, Mission Impossible 4, Ghost Protocol. We must be desperate because I've never seen a pothead take a puff and then be like, I want to f somebody up. I wouldn't even trust a stoner with any mission unless that mission is, you need to locate the Ayatollah and tell him the greatest movie ever is Interstellar. I mean, I don't even know how big of a deal this is because, sure, all the Republicans are on board, but there's no way there's even one Democrat that's going to support this.
So far, only one Democrat, Senator John Fetterman of Pennsylvania, has come out in favor of this project.
This dude is a ballroom guy? He's never worn a blazer that wasn't loaned to him by the Mayor D. The one time I've seen him wearing a jacket and tie, he was wearing them with a hoodie. He looks like he robbed somebody who was wearing a tie. It's like they told him he couldn't come in without one, and then he saw a guy wear one. He was like, get over here. What does he want a ballroom for? I bet Republicans say if he voted for it, they'd add a bell tower just for him. Look, I know Republicans had Project 2025, but I'm starting to think they never wrote Project 2026. Because they're on day 4 of arguing that the president needs a ballroom to dance in while we're at war, during an affordability crisis. But if we ask the government for housing or health care or daycare, this is what we get.
The United States can't take care of daycare. We can't take care of daycare. We're a big country. We have 50 states. We have all these other people. We're fighting wars. It's not possible for us to take care of daycare. Medicaid, Medicare, all these individual things. We have to take care of one thing, military protection.
And a ballroom. And it's not just Nancy Mace. This is an issue across the entire Karen American community. Marjorie Taylor Greene wants the files. Lauren Boebert wants a special counsel. She's like, I came to Washington to expose pedophiles and jack people off. And I'm fresh out of people to jack off. Jeffrey Epstein died back in 2019, but not since Tupac Shakur has a dead man dropped so many bangers, all right? Yesterday, video of the government questioning him back in 2010 started making the rounds. And you'll never guess whose name came up. Go ahead. Guess.
Have you ever socialized with Donald Trump in the presence of females under the age of 18?
Though I'd like to answer that question, at least today, I'm going to have to assert my 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendment rights, sir.
I'm going to put that down. I'm going to put that down as a yes. I'll be honest, I've never heard anybody plead anything other than the 5th before. But this guy's so guilty, he's calling out every amendment he can think of. Like, no, what's the one with the women voting? 19, throw that in too. Let's kick things off with Homeland Security, which used to be led by Kristi Noem until she was asked to hand in her gun, her badge, and her keys to her plane. Even though Noem is gone, we're still finding out more about her time at DHS, including the $20,000 she spent on a horse rental for a TV ad. Which is crazy. Horses don't even use money. What do they need 20 grand for? With all these guys running defense for Trump, all he has to do is act cool. You know, if you get a question, don't freak out. And then just act natural.
The Supreme Court is back in session. They rejected today an appeal by Ghislaine Maxwell to overturn her conviction. That means her only chance at getting out of prison is a pardon from you. Is that something you're open to doing?
Who are we talking about?
Ghislaine Maxwell.
I haven't heard the name in so long.
I said act natural. I haven't heard the name in so long. She's not asking you about the Baha Men. You're over here being like, who? And look, maybe I'm not being fair. You know, how long has it been since you last heard her name? Years? Yesterday, the Epstein story exploded back into the national conversation when House Democrats released 3 emails that Jeffrey Epstein wrote about his BFF, Donald Trump. But Donald Trump has the entirety of the GOP behind him. And you know these world-class strategists have a plan for getting this story off the front page.
As part of the Republican response to the selective and limited release of emails by the Democrats, Republicans stepped up and put out 20,000 pages of Jeffrey Epstein-related documents.
Oh, no! This is the downside of your people really having your back, because Because they were basically like, he got nothing to hide. Here's 20,000 more emails. Don't you people know anything about a cover-up? This is like trying to hide pissing yourself by shitting yourself. Oh. But fine, Trump, you want to take this argument to the streets? That's cool. Macron will take it to the streets, by which I mean the World Economic Forum in Davos, the nicest street in the world. So President Macron, time to deliver a speech that is focused and clear-eyed.
We need more stability in this world, but we do prefer respect to bullies.
I'm sorry. Those glasses are very distracting. I can't tell if you're the president of France or the lead of CSI Paris. Now, to be fair, he said he wore sunglasses because there's something wrong with his eye, which is disappointing to learn. Like, why can't you just be cool for a cool reason? That's like if you saw a bulge in someone's pants and just as you were getting impressed, they were like, I see you've noticed my diaper.
An ex-banker refiling his bombshell lawsuit against a female executive and adding alleged new evidence.
A family friend claims that he witnessed some of this, specifically says he was asleep on the couch one night when the JP Morgan boss came out of the bedroom completely naked, sat on the couch, smoked a cigarette and said, you need to come in here and join us.
Yep. He refiled with a witness, and it's even pornier. This guy is starting to feel like the Jussie Smollett of sex. Like, why is the witness testifying and flexing at the same time? I heard them having sex, but also she was begging to have sex with me. But I said no because I'm constantly having sex. So I just went back to sleep on his couch. Because, you know, none of that was a dream I had once. Just another day in the life of a couch surfing sex god.
We will restore free speech, and we need free speech in this country.
Yes, Trump promised a golden era of free speech. Not for you. They'll put you in jail just for posting memes. But Donald Trump, his speech, whew, it's so free, it seems like it's lost in the woods.
She's a documentariist. Only if you buy a Tesla. Azerbaijan, go, null, F. So it's go, null, F. Is that a proper pronunciation?
I would say Abraham, but it's so much nicer when you say Abraham.
I said, well, let's see how we say that. Acetaminophen. Pergovirus. Pergovirus. As a linguist, translator, and cryptologic technician.
Whoa. Listening to Trump makes me feel like I'm having a medical event. Which is especially bad because he didn't fix health care. Yesterday marked 1 year since Trump's inauguration. That's like 1.5 popes ago. RIP to a real one. I will find your killer. So Trump decided to crash the White House press briefing to tout his accomplishments, but also to do some prop comedy.
Here's the book on accomplishments. And this is something, ooh, I'm glad my finger wasn't in that sucker. They could have done some damage, but you know what? I wouldn't have shown the pain. And I would have acted like nothing happened as my finger fell off. That was nasty. I think somebody did that.
Wait. First of all, is finger falling off something you think could happen to you? Is that on the menu? Like, I thought you had the best health report of all time. Now you're telling me fingers are falling off like it's autumn? But hey, you know what? $2,000 would help a lot of people. If the money's there, the money's there.
If the president sent $2,000 checks to the 150 million people who make less than $100,000, it would cost $300 billion, even though the tariffs are only projected to raise about $217 annually.
The money's not there. And now I'm starting to get worried because that's $83 billion short. And I'm not saying Trump is the worst president of all time. I'm just saying I've never met anyone who was $83 billion short. But look, it really doesn't matter why Trump wants something. The point is he wants Greenland. And you can tell because his focus is 100% on Greenland.
The president referred to Greenland as Iceland.
I'm helping NATO, and I've until the last few days when I told them about Iceland, they loved me.
Okay, anyone can slip up, all right? Obviously, he doesn't mean Iceland. He's not going to make that mistake 3 times in as many sentences.
They're not there for us on Iceland, that I can tell you. I mean, our stock market took the first dip yesterday because of Iceland. So Iceland's already cost us a lot of money.
I'm just glad we got rid of the last guy whose brain didn't work. But fine, Epstein mentioned Trump in an email. That doesn't mean he did anything wrong. Maybe the email was about how Trump never comes to his sex parties. Rude. I say this because I'm an American, living in America. And no matter what party you're in or who you voted for, it would be better for all of us, as a general matter, if we do not have a sexual predator as president. Because it would... It would make our country look so bad. You know, how embarrassing would that be if we, America, went from being the shining city on a hill to not being allowed within 1,000 feet of the hill? So let's just stay calm and see what the email said before we jump to conclusions.
These are emails from Jeffrey Epstein to Ghislaine Maxwell. This is one from April 2nd, 2011. And in this email, Jeffrey Epstein writes to Ghislaine Maxwell and says, quote, "I want you to realize that the dog that hasn't barked is Trump."
Okay, that doesn't sound good at all. But, you know, that dog hasn't barked could mean a lot of things. Maybe Trump's feet hurt, all right? And then that guy is just like, oh, okay, do you know where the bathroom is? But these emails don't just show their friendship. They show their frenemyship. And after their bromance ended, Epstein really showed that hell hath no fury like a pedophile scorned.
He says Trump is borderline insane. He says Donald Trump is effing crazy. Maybe Donald Trump has early dementia. Rumler says Trump is so gross. And Epstein responds, worse in real life and up close.
Damn. A pedophile called you all that? That's wild. It would be like if the devil came out and said, y'all, Diddy gross, okay? We were alone for 5 minutes. You know, he tried to kiss me. And when I pushed him away, he hit me with a water balloon full of baby oil. I don't even know what that's for. This is one of the many reasons being friends with a pedophile is a lose-lose situation. Because as a character witness, if they're like, this guy's disgusting and I'm a pedophile, that's bad. But on the flip side, if they're like, yeah, I know him, he's a pretty good hang, that's also horrible.
God, I miss it.
Look, this is all irrational. It's not just the tariffs. We're destroying our own alliances. We're hurting our own reputation. America is just shooting ourselves in the foot.
You read my mind. Say goodbye to my foot, bitch.
No. Okay, I give up. We can do the tariffs and break up NATO. Just please stop hurting yourself.
See, I knew you'd see it my way. And that is how America is going to get Greenland, through strength and smarts.
Michael Costa, everyone. I mean, if they're not bleeping the N-word, they must not bleep anything.
The big question this morning, why did these outbursts remain on the broadcast when other parts of the event were cut, like the words of one award winner who said, "Free Palestine"?
Now, whenever I hear something bleeped, I'm gonna assume they might be saying "Free Palestine." I'll be listening to music like, oh, wow, I didn't realize Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion wanted a wet-ass Free Palestine. How could this possibly happen?
The corporation said producers were overseeing the coverage from a truck and simply did not hear the slur.
Oh, that makes sense, because most of the times I've been called the N-word, it's been hurled from a truck. Donald Trump is promising to lower drug prices for America. That's the news for the day, and I'm sure no one is going to talk about anything else.
Brand new bombshell reporting from the Wall Street Journal.
The Wall Street Journal reporting that U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi told President Trump back in May that his name appears multiple times in the Epstein files.
You're best friends. You're best friends with a pedophile for 10 years, one time, and the world never forgets it. But yeah, this whole time, Trump already knew he was in the Epstein files, which is a good reminder that if someone's acting guilty, they're probably guilty. No one's ever going to be like, don't look at my browser history. You'll see all the charities I volunteer for. But the good news for Trump is this is America. We don't read. So I'm going to say that promise was not kept, but you can't win them all. Let's look at another one.
So we're going to have more jobs than we've ever had. You will have more jobs. We're going to create a lot of jobs. We will take in so many jobs, millions and millions of new jobs. We're going to do it like nobody else.
Now, did we get millions of jobs? Well, if by jobs you mean the foot jobs your nana is given to pay the electricity bill, then yes. Look, job growth across the country has actually been down, but there's one specific block of Washington, D.C. where job growth is through the roof.
President Trump, of course, serves as the chairman of the Board of Peace.
Donald Trump naming himself chair of the LA Olympics Task Force.
Trump is also the chairman of the Kennedy Center.
For the first time ever, the president served as the on-stage host of the annual honors event.
Touted himself as the acting president of Venezuela.
Whoa, Trump, leave some work for Steve Harvey, all right? Trump is taking everybody's jobs. He's basically AI with even more up hands. Hey, don't look away. This man needs hands. But this is crazy. Trump promised us riches, then he got rich. He promised us jobs, but then he got all the jobs. Wait, what if when we heard all of Trump's promises, we thought he was talking to us, but maybe he was just talking to himself?
So we're going to have more jobs than we've ever had. You will have more jobs. We're going to create a lot of jobs. We will take in so many jobs, millions and millions of new jobs. We're going to do it like nobody else.
Now, did we get millions of jobs? Well, if by jobs you mean the foot jobs your nana is given to pay the electricity bill, then yes. Look, job growth across the country has actually been down, but there's one specific block of Washington, D.C. where job growth is through the roof.
President Trump, of course, serves as the chairman of the Board of Peace.
Donald Trump naming himself chair of the LA Olympics Task Force.
Trump is also the chairman of the Kennedy Center.
For the first time ever, the president served as the on-stage host of the annual honors event. Touted himself as the acting president of Venezuela.
Whoa, Trump, leave some work for Steve Harvey, all right? Trump is taking everybody's jobs. He's basically AI with even more up hands. Hey, don't look away. This man needs hands. But this is crazy. Trump promised us riches, then he got rich. He promised us jobs, but then he got all the jobs. Wait, what if when we heard all of Trump's promises, we thought he was talking to us, but maybe he was just talking to himself? So the GOP didn't do Trump any favors by releasing these emails. They basically saw his grease fire and said, let us add some water. And his supporters on TV aren't doing that much better.
This is obviously an attempt to smear the president by cherry picking.
This is just all for show.
A distraction. Just ridiculous.
The Carnival show.
It's journalistically malpractice.
Why weren't they as concerned about Bill Clinton?
They love to create drama.
This whole Epstein files thing, a little bit played out.
Played out? You know shit's bad when the sensationalist media is like, you guys don't want to hear about the international island sex scandal. Let's talk about budgetary cuts. Let's get nasty.
No nation or group of nations is in any position to be able to secure Greenland other than the United States. It's the United States alone that can protect this giant mass of land, this giant piece of ice, develop it and improve it and make it so that it's good for Europe and safe for Europe and good for us.
That's right. It's huge, undeveloped, in a strategic location. It's like if your grandma had a Manhattan apartment she bought in 1950. Once she dies in it, you're going to push her down the trash chute and live like a king. It all sounds great, but I do have one problem. We already have a treaty with Denmark that lets us build as many military bases in Greenland as necessary. I don't know why we need to own Greenland to defend it.
You need the ownership to defend it. You can't defend it on a lease. Number one, legally it's not defensible that way, totally. And number two, psychologically, who the hell wants to defend a license agreement or a lease?
I guess I get what he means, because you do care less about things when they're not yours. Like, a parent will do anything to protect their kids, but if I'm babysitting... Yeah, I mean, like, I'll give it a good college try, but at the end of the day, he don't look like me, all right? Also, you would think that if we're all about to die, Antifa would be the only network on your mind.
ABC is terrible. NBC is terrible. MSNBC is dying, and CNN is dying like a dog. MSNBC is sick. Yeah. They're sick. I would say CNN is not quite as bad as MS. Poor CNN, they're so pathetic. Beautiful black women are wearing a MAGA hat last night on television.
Come on, guys, all right? The plan is to scare people about Antifa. You're not going to do that if you keep trailing off about hot black women you remember, all right? So look, I'm not saying that there's no such thing as Antifa, but I look at Antifa the way I look at Bigfoot. It's big, scary, and tearing up the Pacific Northwest. But all we ever hear about is what the people who believe in it think is happening. Let's kick things off with an update in our war with Iran. It started about a month ago, and today President Trump spoke to the nation with some good news about the war.
They did something yesterday that was amazing, actually. They gave us a present, and the present arrived today. And it was a very big present worth a tremendous amount of money. And I'm not going to tell you what that present is, but it was a very significant prize.
Wait, you got a gift from the people you are currently at war with. When I was at school and they made us read the Odyssey, I couldn't believe the Trojans fell for that Trojan horse. And now I'm watching it happen in real time. The Secret Service is going to be like, Mr. President, please don't bring that to the Situation Room. But it's expensive. And it's ticking. I bet it's a watch. World Cup fans have come from all over the world to see which country has the most athletic black people. But one country has been making their presence known a little more than the rest.
South Florida's getting taken over by the Scottish this week for the World Cup, turning Little Havana into an international street party.
This is so fun. Also, I'm just happy to see an all-white parade where they're not chanting about the Jews. I'm not sure about the bagpipes, though. You know the Loch Ness Monster is back in Scotland right now. Like, finally, I can get some sleep. The only reason I'm so elusive is because I don't want to hear those damn bagpipes. Let's talk about award shows. They honor creative people, they celebrate great art, and they're how we track the migratory pattern of the Skarsgårds. But one recent award show raised a lot more questions than who are you wearing?
It was supposed to be an evening of Hollywood glamour mixed with British royalty. But the British Film Awards ceremony known as the BAFTAs is facing outrage after black actors Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo took the stage only for the N-word to be shouted from the audience.
Oh, BAFTA, BAFTA, BAFTA. Don't you miss when nobody knew what you were? When we all thought you were a trade deal or something, you know? I actually once met someone who told me they had a BAFTA, and I was like, I'm so sorry. Is it terminal? This is one of the saddest images I've seen in months, and I follow one of those hairless cats on Instagram. You know the medal is only a symbol, right? Like, just because I steal A$AP Rocky's wedding ring doesn't make it so I'm married to Rihanna. Unless it would. I guess it's really what she thinks. Like, it's kind of her decision to make, and I'm waiting. So look, earned or not, his or not, Trump has the Peace Prize. And who knows, having the Peace Prize might make him a man of peace. Let's start with the latest update on the war in Iran, which is that there is no update. It's still happening, you know? I'm starting to get worried about my river cruise this summer up the Strait of Hormuz. Man, I booked a balcony room, too. But don't worry, because Donald Trump is doing everything he can to wrap it up.
We're having talks with him now, and we're not flying anymore with 18-hour flights every time we want to see a piece of paper. We're doing it telephonically, and it's very nice.
Telephonically? Damn, that's an impressive word, yo. Makes anyone with a phone sound like a wizard. I ordered large meat lovers telephonically. Now, to be clear, that is a word, but he didn't know that. He talks the way I play Scrabble, you know? Just like, oh, wow, I was just throwing letters together. How many points is that?